What's up, guys? It's Hot Wheels Tournaments here with another Matchbox moving parts unboxing and case review. Now, this case is a little bit different. Usually what happens is I get these cases mailed to me. That is not the case today. Instead, hobby collectors never got these. The only place they've showed up so far is Walmart. So, every car within this case I actually found. That's why I'm a little late to it. That's why you might have seen them out. I haven't reviewed them yet. It's for that reason. I have not been lucky enough to find them until literally today. I found them this morning. I'm filming the review, gonna have it uploaded this weekend. So instead of unboxing them, I had to buy the cars from the case because they were already put out. Now, this case is also unique in the fact that there are no duplicates. I think this is the first case all year, and I believe it will be the only case all year that we see that is going to get 8 different cars. There's 8 cars per case. Every single one of them is different. Every single one is 1 per case, which is really, really cool. That also means they're going to be harder to find. Some of the cooler cars, usually the new models, get multiple releases. Not going to be the case here. Every car is going to be 1 per case. So you better find them while you have the chance. There are 3 new models for this case, 5 cars that are getting recolored. So let's go ahead and take a look. The first 3 that we are going to take a look at are new models. We began with the GMC Hummer EV, number 3 of 50. And I will say this, I really like the moving parts packaging. A lot of people complain about it. A lot of people aren't fans. I can understand why. To me, though, I just think it looks really, really cool. I thought the original packaging sucked. I think this new one is absolutely awesome. So let's take a look at the Hummer EV. Of course, Hot Wheels released theirs earlier this year. And now we get the offering from Matchbox. You can see, got the 6-spoke off-road on there. And what's really cool and really funny is because it's an EV, you don't see an engine under the hood, which is the moving part. You instead see the luggage storage space that you often see within electric vehicles. That flips down. You can see we get front deco. See we get rear deco. Looks absolutely fantastic. It looks like it has no interior. It does. You can't really see it. I'm trying to get in the light to angle it. You can't really see it unless you get in a really specific light. So it's really dark tint, which is unfortunate. But that is a fantastic version of the model. It does have an interior, so if that's your complaint, don't worry. Hopefully on future versions they get that figured out. For whatever reason, the plastic they chose for the window is just really, really dark. And regardless of how you feel about EVs, I think it is really cool that they got that interior on there. Also really nice that the hood stays up, because a lot of times on these moving parts models, if they have the hood, they don't stay up. So that's the first of 8 we're going to be taking a look at. Time for the second new model, the 2020 Dodge Charger SRT, coming in orange, number 10 of 50. This is how it will be packaged. Let's go ahead, take a look at this one. Matchbox getting the last of their Dodges out before they go completely EV. That's sad to see, but so be it. Here is the Dodge Charger, all metal, hood is metal. Doesn't look like, let's see if we can get this to stay open. Doesn't look like it'll stay open. Unfortunately, no deco on the engine either, all black. Kind of unfortunate. A lot of times they do deco the engine, but I assume they can on every car or it would be too expensive. So no tampos on that. Unfortunate to see, but still looks really good. The hood goes in nicely. You can barely tell it's there. You then get the headlights, clean orange look with the 5 spokes. Taillights, let's see, what's it say on the taillights here? Charger SRT, abbreviated. Give that a quick turn on the turntable. Really like this one. I'm not huge on Dodge muscle cars. It's not something I like a lot, but I really like there's a moving parts version. I really like the Charger too. The main line was always okay to me. Like, it was a solid casting. This one I think I like a little bit more. It feels a little bigger, heavier. It's got the moving part. Absolutely love that. Great offering here from Matchbox. Interested to see what they do with this one. I think a red version would be very, very exciting. I think an all black version would be very cool too. So those are the next 2 colors I'm hoping for, but really happy to add this one as well. Next up, the third new model, and probably the one that's being talked about the most in this case. The reason everyone is after it, probably the one that's going to be the first one gone if you see it in stores. This is the 1994 Mitsubishi Evolution. This is the 4th generation, number 12 of 50. Also got the opening hood. So all 3 new models for this case, opening hoods. Very interesting. But this was one of the ones JDM fans, when they heard this was coming, very excited. Matchbox doesn't do a ton of JDM, especially when compared to Hot Wheels. but when they do, they pick a lot of fun stuff and they pick a lot of cool stuff. So let's take a look at it. As you can see, the hood stays open. Absolutely love that. And this is the one problem. When you get these cars, when you get the lines so crisp as they have, when they first came out, a lot of times these gaps were bigger and more noticeable. Now they're not, but because of that, they become a lot harder to open. But I'm not going to complain. Makes the car look better. You still get the moving part. You can see incredibly detailed engine there with the Mitsubishi logo. I mean, look at that. That's one of the best engines I think they've done all year in terms of tampoing. Close that. You can see headlights, grille, tampoed on there. Clean on the side. I love the gold 10 spokes. I guess maybe a little faint gold. It's gold, but it's not like pop out. It doesn't pop as much. It's a little bit fainter, a little bit more subtle. It goes very, very nice with the gray. You can see on the rear, taillights, no license plate, which is interesting. I'm wondering if that's a request from Mitsubishi. I discussed that in an earlier video where I think some of the manufacturers just don't want you to put license plates on the cars. Don't know why. Don't know if that's actually a thing. Maybe they just didn't. Who knows? But very clean, very awesome. You can see here, this wing is actually plastic. You can tell it's a little bit of a different tone. It's all right. Not super, super happy about that. I'll have to check if that's accurate to the real life Evo. Like if the wing looks different from the actual car. I don't believe it did, but then again, you never know. So either way, the actual body, the actual silhouette is absolutely nailed. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, which is the big thing in the Hot Wheels version. My problem with the Hot Wheels version is it always felt skinny. They had the silhouette right. When you turned it around front, it looked really skinny, and it just didn't feel right. This Matchbox version is a little bit wider, and I think better executed than the old Hot Wheels casting is. So super happy to have that. Definitely worth picking up. Like I said, my one complaint is the wing. I'll have to check how accurate that is to the real car. I assume if they're trying to make it look like the same color, it should be the same color. So kind of interesting. Usually Hot Wheels, Matchbox, they leave the wings metal, or cars that had plastic wings, they change the metal because it's cheaper to do. So I'm wondering why they chose to go plastic here if they could have done it in metal. I don't really know, but really happy with that one. Came out really, really nice. That is going to be a collector favorite. Let's move along. Next up, number 28 of 50. A car we've actually already seen this year. I asked Abe about it, the head designer for Matchbox. He said he didn't know. He can't remember if he put something in, because we saw this a couple cases ago, the 1950 Chevy Suburban. We saw it in the Camp Arrowhead, I believe, deco, designed by Michael Giralda, and now we get it in all red. So interesting that we're seeing it twice. Usually that means something got replaced in the lineup. I asked him. He said he can't remember if he replaced anything. I assume he would have if we're getting two versions of the casting, but I mean, who really knows? Taking a look at it, just simple deco. I like this more than the first release this year. The plain red, 1950, obviously the year on the license plate. Flip it around front. Headlights, logo, opening hood, no deco on it, but so be it. Get a nice glossy black plastic there. Really just kind of a luxurious two-tone there with the red and the black. That looks absolutely awesome. Very, very nice version of that one. Moving along, we get the second version now in the moving parts line. The third version ever for Matchbox, the Pagani Huayra Roadster, released in its first year in blue with gold wheels. Then it was in the, what do you call it, the premium series this year for Matchbox. Now we get it in red. Let's open it up. Almost the same red as the Chevy that we just looked at. All right. You can see the rear on this one stays open. I've always had issues when you put it down. It's a little bit weird to move and put down. Oh, you have to like shift it. See, I'm kind of fighting it, and then it like snaps down. So like you feel like you're gonna break it, but you're actually not going to. It's just a little bit weird. You can see the detail on this one is the engine. Absolutely awesome what they've done with this car. The opening rear engine on the car, because most of the time with the rear engines, it's just like a hatch you flip up. With the Pagani Huayra, you flip the back open to get that look. And I just think that's so unique and so cool. And the fact that Matchbox has replicated here, absolutely incredible. And you can see it's fully detailed on the inside very, very accurately. A lot going on. So that's awesome. 5-spoke wheels on this one. I think I like the blue one from last year a little bit more. I just think it popped, especially with the gold wheels. But when you close it down, you can see the seams right where the door is, so it looks accurate. Headlights, Very accurate. The Hot Wheels one, because they're in that Malaysia factory, which doesn't do as well, these headlights always look awkward. The Matchbox Pagani Huayra has much better highlights than the, or headlights, excuse me, than the Hot Wheels one does. Turn it around. See the exhaust, decoed in on that. Huayra, tampoed right there in the lower right corner. Accurate rear end. Can't complain about that one. This is just such a great moving parts model. And we're getting a Lamborghini. We've had the Lamborghini Centenario. We're getting a Lamborghini Aventador this year as a supercar in the moving parts line. I am very excited to see more supercars in this line. I think they could use it. I hope they bring the Centenario back soon. They have the Porsche this year, obviously. They had the Lamborghini coming out next year. Corvette C8 this year. We're getting some sports cars and some supercars in this line, which, of course, makes me very happy because that is what I love. Next up, a classic, a moving parts staple, the 62 Mercedes-Benz 220 SE. I mean, I believe this was in the first batch of moving parts that they released. I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure there was a Mercedes. I mean, we've seen this thing countless times. It feels like now. Coming in gold, low and clean. I mean, come on now. Come on. Opening doors on this one, you can see. Easy to close them. Disc wheels, good choice. You can see it's kind of that early parts model. Like I said, they have like those bulkier lines. You can see there's like some separation there. The other thing that really bothers me about this model, and maybe it's because of the opening door you can see in, and you don't notice it on normal models because you can't see the interior as well. The steering wheel column is just like so bulky and out of place, and just, I don't know. It just, the interior doesn't look great when that door is open. So I prefer mine to have this door open because you can't see it nearly as well. It's a lot easier to hide. But I mean, that's just me being nitpicky. On the rear, you can see we get some deco. I'm trying to make up what that says. 1962 MB. Yeah, Matchbox 1962. Mercedes-Benz. Probably Mercedes-Benz, not Matchbox. But either way, MB 1962. Chrome on this one. Love to see that. Chrome base. Absolutely fantastic. Little narrow on the wheels, but that keeps them tucked under the fenders, which is a very, very nice touch. And there it goes. We'll let it go for a spin. Really, really happy with that. All right. Next up, it's making its debut in the moving parts line. It's not a new model because we saw it last year in the premium series. It came in all black. Mercedes-Benz G500 Cabrio. Super, super cool and unique model dude here. 2 Mercedes in this set. We know Matchbox loves their Mercedes, so not surprised to see them doubling up here. We also had a Mercedes in the last case. Seeing a ton of Mercedes in the moving parts line. Awesome. All right, here we go. Coming in silver. You can see the hood is, I can't tell, I believe that's tampoed. Maybe it's a gray interior piece. I don't know. There's gray and black dual tone. I believe that's tampoed, but it might be 2 different pieces. I can't quite tell. Anyways, taking a look at the car itself, the hood can open, close, and that is about as seamless as it gets on a moving part. That is fantastic. Probably because they have it elevated a little bit, like the real car, you can't even tell that that's supposed to open. You wouldn't know unless you know that's a moving part. That is about as clean as it gets. You can't even really tell from the top. Get the 6 spokes on here. Absolutely love that. The Matchbox regular wheels are so much better than their premium wheels. Actually, I'll go and say this. I say this every video. I'm not as fond of rubber tires as most people are. I believe the Matchbox basic wheels are the best Mattel wheels. Better than the Hot Wheels basics. Better than the Hot Wheels premium. That's a hot take. That might get me in some trouble in the comments. But I believe that those are the best wheels that are done by Mattel brands as far as die-cast go. They're absolutely fantastic. They look super realistic, and they just so happen to be plastic. Anyways, enough rambling. You see the headlights, Mercedes logo on the front with the grille as well. Turn it to the rear, clean Mercedes logo on the tire on the back with the G500 logo and some taillights. That's number 7 of 8. And we'll get to the last car, a car that is also been released before. I believe it's been in moving parts. I don't know if it's been in premium. It is the 2019 Ford Ranger. Again, in that kind of dark metallic red. 3 cars appearing in this pretty much exact color. The Suburban, the Pagani, and now the Ford Ranger. This was the one that, oh, it wasn't the premium series because it peg warmed last year. The first set of premium, this was in, and literally Target just had walls and walls and walls of it, and they could not sell it. It was not the best premium model, if I'm honest. But It's very stock. It's very clean. It is a nice version of the truck. Big seam on the front there. Pretty noticeable. Not super happy about that. You can also see it from the front pretty easily on the moving part. Not the cleanest of the models, but take a look inside. You can see the engine. Try and hold it open. You can see it's not open, not decoed. Ford logo on the front. Headlights. Taillights? I don't know if those are tampos and they're just so red they blend in, or what. I believe it is tampoed. It just like almost blends in. That's really weird. But then there's no Ford logo. Maybe it's not tampo and I'm just seeing things. Anyways, nice clean silver discs on the wheels there. Nothing crazy. 10-spoke off-roaders. Seat into the bed. Pretty clean all the way around. Solid model. Could be a little better, but all in all, as far as the moving parts goes, this is a pretty impressive lineup of 8 cars. 3 new models, all 3 really well executed in my opinion. The Dodge Charger is probably the best executed, though I really do like the Evo. That's probably the one I was the most excited for, but the Evo executed well as well. GMC really well executed outside of the window piece, just being so dark it looks like it has no interior. I'm sure they'll fix that on upcoming models though, and we'll get a better version here in a little bit. Probably next year, and we'll see all these new models. But all in all, fantastic case, fantastic assortment. Really cool to get 8 different versions of models. 8 cars in a case, 8 different versions. Love to see that. Hopefully that means these ones are going to fly off the pegs, as they should. I don't see many that I imagine are going to sit around for very long. I know a couple of these, certainly every time I see them, I will be picking up a version or 2. And yeah, Matchbox killing the game. As far as I'm concerned, this is the best line Matchbox is doing right now. It's the best line that any other Intel diecast brands are doing well. I believe it's better than Car Culture, in my personal opinion. You can call me crazy for that. I like it more than Car Culture. I think Car Culture is bloated at this point. It's got too much going on. Chase pieces are also making it rougher. Even though they're fun to find, it's kind of ruining it. But yeah, that's all for now, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Peace.